Hey guys, today we're doing chopping block items. So I did a declutter recently, and as I was decluttering things and looking through my collection, I noticed some items that I'm not 100% sure about. I kind of have a feeling they might not stick around for a while, but I also didn't want to just throw them in the garbage. I kind of want to test them out and see how I actually feel about them. It's not like it's just these items. These are just the items that I'm concentrating on for like the next few weeks to see how I feel. These are items that I'm just kind of side-eyeing a little bit, like, I don't know if I like that, but we're gonna try it out. I'm not setting a usage goal for any of them either. I can pretty much tell within like one use or maybe two uses, like how I feel about a lot of things. So I'm not gonna make myself use something like up to 5 times or past that. It depends though, like sometimes I like to play around with different items and see how they work out, and try them different ways, but I'm not setting a goal number. Yes, and I'm in a different room today. This is my daughter's room. The other room, there was like a lot of like traffic sounds that I can't really control. I was hoping that maybe in here it'd be a little bit better, but now I think you hear traffic and you hear birds, but I don't, so I don't know if it's really any better, but at least it's different. Let's get into the product. This is the Ilia Balmy Gloss. This is a tinted lip oil. I received this in a set one Christmas. I think it might have been like 2 years ago. I'm still wearing this like wrist brace, so I'm swatching awkwardly all the way up here. So the color isn't bad. It's actually kind of pretty. I just don't really love how it goes on. I don't know. It's like thicker. It's not like a sheer kind of pink, which I'd much prefer. It has more opacity to it, which I guess that's fine. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm able to make this work on me and if I like how it's looked the past couple times. So I'm going to play around with this more and see how I feel about it. But yeah, right now I'm not like loving how it applies. It's just like, it's kind of a little too thick for me. The shade is Only You. So we're going to play with that. Okay, some cheek products. So this is Betty Luminizer. This is a very shimmery bronzer and it looks pretty dark in the pan and it is pretty pigmented, so there's a little bit of gold in there, and it's, yeah, like I said, it's really pigmented. I don't know if the lighting is picking up, like it's a little bit orangey. You have to have a lighter hand with it, but I think once you kind of get the gist of how to use it, it can look quite nice. And I only really use this summertime because I have more of a tan going, and like winter it would just like be way too much. I feel like this requires a little bit more thinking for me. But then again, when I use it, I do kind of like it. So yeah, and there's like a huge pan of it. And I feel like when I pull it in, I do get decent usage on it. So I'm a little confused by this product. So we're going to go back to trying this out again and seeing if this is something I want in my collection or if it's just like too much of something I don't need kind of a thing. I'm all for keeping stuff that you don't need. Like, you know, if you're enjoying your stuff and having fun with it, like that's cool, like keep it, right? But I don't know if this is on that level for me anymore, even for that. So we'll see, we'll try it out. Next we have a blush by MAC. This is called Earth to Earth. This is from their Mineralize line. At the time I purchased this, it was already at Cosmetics Company, so it might have already been discontinued or something, or I don't know. Cosmetics Company, I don't know if you guys remember that place or if they still have that, but yeah, that's where I got this. And they usually have like overstock or stuff that's like discontinued and whatever. So anyway, I have another blush in this line called Hot Planet, and I love that blush, but this one is just a little too orangey. It's a little, not orangey, it's like a little bit dull looking, and I don't think it does anything for my complexion. I have it on today actually, and I don't think it does anything for me. It really doesn't. If I try to swatch it, yeah, you can kind of see it's just a weird shade. It's a little too muddy looking, doesn't bring enough life to my complexion, and that's kind of what I'm steering more towards, like something that's a little bit pinkier. So I don't know about this guy. I have it on today. I'm not really that impressed with it. So I'm not sure how this is going to do, but I don't know if I'm going to end up keeping this one or not, but it's just like not hitting the mark. So we're going to try this one out and see if we like that one. Similar to that, we have the Milani blush in Luminoso, like the really famous blush that like people were always talking about back in the day. I don't love this. I don't think this does a whole lot for my complexion either. Kind of like this guy. Like it, I don't know if it's just my skin tone. Like maybe if I was a little bit more fair, this might turn up and look a little bit better, but this, it just looks blah on my skin tone. But we're gonna keep trying it. Maybe I'll like it, but I can already tell by how I feel about it, how I'm talking about it. It's just like not hitting the mark for me because I have so many other blushes that I like way more. Why would I waste time on like mediocre ones, right? That's just how I feel. Two other blushes I'm interested in playing with are these two CoverGirl blushes right here that I depotted into the Z palette. So the top one is Classic Pink, and the one that I hit pan on here, I think that one was called Pretty Peach. So that was in a project. I think CoverGirl makes really nice blushes, so I don't have any like beef against the quality, but I'm also wondering because of how old they are, like I don't know if I really need to keep both of these around. I don't like to declutter just to declutter, but if I have other blushes that kind of do the same thing, like do I need these extra ones, right? Especially the ones that are kind of old, and I hit pan in this one, which doesn't mean if you hit pan you got to get rid of it, but I've been working on that one for a long time, and then like there's this one. So I want to play around with both of these. They're both really nice, and I know I like how they look on me. So I might not need to declutter those. I just need to use them, type of a thing. So we shall see. But generally speaking, I do like CoverGirl blushes. I just, again, have so many of them, blushes in general. And wherever I can kind of trim it down, I'm willing to trim it down. Okay, we have some eyeshadows. So the first one I'm wearing today, this one is Larkabout. This is a MAC pigment. Look how much is in here, and you don't need a lot of this stuff. If you know pigments, you know pigments. Like, you don't need a lot of this stuff. And it is this iridescent pigment that kind of leans lavender. So let me see here. Where do I have space? Right here. So this guy looks a little like white almost, but it definitely has a purple shift to it that is hard to not see. Like, I actually layered a different shadow over it because to me it was looking a little too like purple for me. So I toned it down a little bit by putting another color over it. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's a little too lavender for me. I'm not really into colors that pop like that too much. I'm into pigmented shadows, but not like in this type of a color. I'm kind of steering away from like greens, blues, like purples that are like this. So I don't think it looks bad, but I feel like the energy of this is a little bit dated for me. It's not dated to wear this color, but I mean, I relate this to a different time in my life, so that's what I mean. So I don't know. I don't think it looks bad on me, but I don't know if it's my vibe. You know what I mean? So we're going to play around with this pigment, and there's so much of it. Like, I would never finish this whole thing, and it just is intimidating to look at because I know I'm never going to use it up. So I might pass it on to somebody else who would enjoy that more. I used to use that as a brow bone highlight back in the day, so I don't even think I really wore it on my lids, but I'm not doing that either. So we have this Bare Minerals. I have a whole bunch of these guys. Like, these are, talk about old school, man. Like, this is old school. The ID Bare Minerals eyeshadow in the shade Grace. And I did wear this once already yesterday, and I kind of liked it. I had the NYX glitter primer on, and I put this on top, and it's actually really pretty. Pulls like a peach color. It's really hard to see, but let me, yeah, I have tan skin on top of that, so sorry if it's not like translating as much, but this has more of a peach pull to it, which it doesn't look like that in the container, but definitely has peach undertones. And I don't know. I kind of like the shimmer that it provides. Even though it's older, it's still pretty good. It has no weird smell to it. So I think the Bare Mineral eyeshadows do keep really well despite their age. So I don't know. I'll play around with this more because sometimes I feel like it doesn't do anything, but sometimes I think it does, like in terms of how it looks on me. I just want to play around with it, see how it looks. I have this MAC eyeshadow in ochre style. I've always kept it because I think it's pretty useful, but yeah, this is like a tan color. It pulls a little bit of orange though. There's an orange undertone in there. And it's very warm toned. It almost has like a bronzery, like an orangey bronzy type of color. It's a little bit shimmery. It's not totally matte, but I don't know if that picks up on there. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these really warm colors. I don't know if that's, because I noticed that theme with like this bronzer too. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm feeling really warm shades on myself, but I guess that's what this project is for. And this at first I thought was an eyeshadow, but it's actually a depotted lip product. It's in that same Bare Minerals container, but this is actually a lip color by Makeup Academy. I don't know if you remember that brand that used to be sold at CVS. And my mom got this nude color for me, which I really, really liked when I first got it, and it was in the tube still, but what happened was it got so soft in the tube it was rolling around in there, and I was like, yeah, this isn't working. We're gonna melt it down and put it in a pot. And the thing I have with this, I like the color, but I'm not sure if it washes me out, or is it one of those situations where it depends on the eye color you use with it. And it is a little brown for me. Here it doesn't look that brown, but I feel like on my skin when I put it on, it looks very brownish nude. This is also a very dry formula, which I don't know if that's just from having melted it down and depotting it, like if the formula changed, because I don't remember it being that drying back when it was in a tube. But yeah, there's something about it that like doesn't feel quite as good. But I did like the shade a lot at one point, and then recently, when I pulled it out, like I wasn't as sure about it. So we need to figure it out. Again, that's what this product is for. Those are the products that I'll be focusing on within the next few weeks. I'm not even going to give myself a month to really make a decision. Yeah, so we'll see where we're at. If you're interested in declutters and very low buy type content, definitely like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.